Good morning YouTube, it is I, Danielle, better known as Danielle Happy Medium, and in this video or topic up for discussion today, I would like to give you some hints and tips on the starting out medium, where you can look to improve your mediumship through maybe self-development or through out there in the industry, and what I would help you or give you hints and tips on how to start out and what would maybe be beneficial to you out there in the general public. So I hope these hints and tips will help you. They did help me in my mediumship when I first started out, and I have had a question in from a lady in the States who asked me if I would do a video designed around hints and tips for the beginner and the starter out in the industry. So here are my top 6, 7, we'll see how many I can give off. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'll have a good go at it. So the first one I would always give to each and every one of you is understand you. And what I mean by this is it's important is the medium and also is the person who works for the spirit world that you understand you as well as you understand the spirit world. And many people think it's all about understanding the spirit world. And while it's very important that we do understand the spirit world, it's also important that we understand us and how we understand our energy, how we interact with other people, how we self-develop, or how we maybe criticize ourselves too much, or how we maybe give ourselves a hard time when we don't always get it right. And by learning to understand you more and understanding your energy and understanding where your mindset is and how you're maybe having a bad day and making sure that you're not projecting that over to the spirit world will help you get a better grip on your mediumship when you're first starting out. Second one I can give you, which runs quite nicely off the back of the first one, is self-discipline. Learning only to be in the spirit world when you need to be in there, which is i.e. when you're working. So if you're in a training ground doing open circles, maybe you're doing training groups across Facebook, social media, whatever it may be, that's the only time that you should really be in the spirit world. Classes, that type of thing, or if you're more professional or a budding medium who's out there in the industry, maybe rostrum working or maybe doing that private sitting, remember to have plenty me time and only be in the spirit world when you are meant to be working. This way you get some balance, which is really good. Lots of mediums overwork themselves, do too much mediumship and not enough of the day-to-day normalness, which sometimes can leave you feeling a little drained and a little bit tired, and can also have a depletion on your energy over time. So learning to only be in the spirit world when you're meant to be is a really good starting block for you, the medium. Third one I can give you is, again, running quite nice off the back of the last two, which is sitting in the power or meditation, whichever you prefer. Getting into a little bit of a routine will help you better understand, and the spirit world will also become very aware that you are sitting on a regular basis. So whether it's the morning, whether it's afternoon, evening, giving up them couple of hours a day or an hour a day or 10 minutes a day, whatever you can afford, give it up and give that time to the spirit world. Even if you're not doing anything in particular, sitting will help you to understand your energy that little bit more, which helps you to understand what's maybe yours and what's maybe the spirit world's, and ultimately also allows the spirit world to draw that little bit closer excuse me, and also to do the work that they need to do in the background. My fourth top tip would be practice. The biggest one of all, practice. Why? Because ultimately without the practice, you're not homing your skills, whether this is in the arena of open circles, open circles across the social media outlets, or whether it's doing private sittings or whatever it may be. Any practice is better than none. Even if you're practicing with your guides, which is again a self-training technique that I've done and I do quite frequently, that doesn't mean to say that going out there in the industry isn't as good as that. All are just as good as each other. But that practice will certainly help you to polish that skill set, certainly help you to learn, because unfortunately we are going to get it wrong. We need to get it wrong so that we can learn, and only through practicing will we then learn that what's right for us and what's not right for us. So mixing with like-minded friends, working in different open circles, doing whatever it is you need to do in order to get that practice in is very helpful there. My top 5 tip, trust. Trust is really important, and I see so many of you budding mediums out there struggle with this one. And for me personally, and for lots of other mediums that I talk to out there in the industry, this is something that gradually comes over time. It doesn't happen overnight. So what I will say to everybody out there is take the pressure off. Ultimately, because as you grow as the medium and as your ability with the spirit world grows, your trust will also grow with them as well. And this is a gradual thing over time, and it just takes time. That's all it takes. And with the practice, self-setting, learning to understand energy and understanding what's yours and maybe it's what's the spirit world, being disciplined, all these things sort of run into one, will help you to gain that trust over time. Also leading nicely into my top tip of number 6, which is talking to the spirit world. Now, many of you come to me and ask me about how do we communicate with the spirit world, Danielle. All these techniques here will lead you quite nicely into this top 6 tip, which is when we're working with guides or when we're talking to guides, we're talking to them like we're talking to the loved ones in the spirit world. So getting into this habit of chatting with the guides when you're in, don't just go in there randomly unless it's important. Because the spirit world will always wait for you. If they have anything they want to chat to you about, they'll always wait for you to come in, unless it's something quite important. But I know my guides tend to wait until I'm ready, and then they'll bring whatever they need for me forward. And through this experience of working with them guides, talking with, remember, it's all in your mind. All you've got to say is what do you want to talk to me about? And the first answer you get back, you should trust, which leads quite nicely off the back of my top tip 5. And through this sort of building of this relationship with the guide, it ultimately helps you to trust more in the spirit world and in the guides in which that you have with you. If you don't have your guides with you, then my advice to you is start pushing them thoughts out, asking for the guides who are working with you or who are round and about you to step forward. What will happen is over time and asking that particular question, you should become aware of them people and they should make themselves aware to you. And over time, you gradually build this relationship, a bit like a relationship with a friend. Or when you meet somebody for the first time, you sort of ask them lots of different questions, like what's your name, what do you do for a living, these types of things. Careful when you're doing that with your mediumship though, because you don't want to become too structured. But in the beginning, I'll let that be because it's an easy way for you to build that sort of communication with your guide. Over time, and as we move forward further down the path, we can explore that and push that further out there. So that leads quite nicely into trusting. And then as you come to communicate with the spirit world, you can make references to with the guides of how you communicated with them. And that will help you as the budding medium to get started on the trust and the communication of the loved one. These are about my top 5, 6 that I would give you when you're first starting out. Try to be as open as possible. Is always important when you're doing mediumship. Remember, we're all going to find them pitfalls. We're all going to have them issues, no matter what we do. Probably my next top tip would be number 7, get it wrong. And you're probably going to look at me and go, well, why should I be getting it wrong, Danielle? I'm not saying the whole communication's got to be wrong, but I would like to see some no's in there. And the reason being is because ultimately from the no, you can then learn to go back and get more information. You can then learn to work your communication that little bit more, building that relationship with that communicator and with that guide and with the trust as well. So it's really important that we do get it wrong from time to time in mediumship. The other one, or another top tip I can give you is try to talk to lots of different people. Don't take on too much knowledge because you want to keep your knowledge or you want to keep your relationship with your people because your mediumship is always yours. But getting with people who are like-minded like you will always be helpful in somewhere where you can talk to people, because a lot of mediums, it's a very lonely road for us. And sometimes we can get a little closed off, or sometimes we sort of shut ourselves off because we think people think we're silly or we're a bit crazy or, these types of things. I've heard lots of things said about us mediums, unfortunately. So try to get with like-minded people so you can maybe chat about the things that you want to chat about, and that there will also help your development. Also, different open circles will always help it and open that world up for you also. So for me, for the lady in the States who asked me this question, these are my 7 top tips that I would give you, excuse me, the general public or the budding medium out there who's trying to step out into that sort of newish world of mediumship. These would be some of the tips and hints that I would give you to help get your mediumship up and on its feet. I have been Danielle, better known as Danielle Happy Medium, and please do like, share and subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you all again very, very soon.